Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? If you didn't know, my name is Jason. Next to me is John. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Wait. Where'd you get the shirt?
Max and Liz bought it for me. It's one of my Christmas or birthday gifts. Kylie will come in the room every time I'm wearing this. Say, why do you have a Jason shirt? And I'm like, because I am.
Well, that's pretty awesome, dude. I dig that. That's pretty killer. Hey, I'm doing well, and I just want to thank everybody. A couple weeks ago, we were supposed to do this, and just some things were going on with me personally and professionally that it was turning out to be a train wreck. We were recording it because you were going to be in Connecticut, and just the wheels fell off the wagon. But I wanted to thank everybody who reached out and said kind words and checked in on me. I really do appreciate it. That means a lot to me. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. So thank you to all those folks who checked in and whatnot. So, and I'm doing good. Everything, all those stormy clouds are gone now. Now it's nothing but sunshine now here in Orlando's world.
You know what, man? That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Dude, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. This is probably going to be a longer show than I had anticipated. And I'm sorry that we were a few minutes late. That's on me. They just dropped, so about a month ago, Eminem released a documentary to theaters about his fan base. Mm-hmm. And it finally came out on Paramount Plus. And I was watching it. A very, very good documentary. Absolutely loved it. And it ended like a minute and a half ago. I had no idea it was like 7 o'clock until Justin texts. And I jumped over and was able to run in the house and watch it and do this because I was into it. It was great. It was a really good documentary. But John, what have you been watching?
Well, that's a great question. What I've been doing recently in terms of my viewing is catching up on some stuff. I by no means am a Star Trek fan, but I really do like Strange New Worlds. I think Anson Mount does a fantastic job as Christopher Pike. And the surrounding cast is really solid too. That even though I'm not the biggest fan, it's very entertaining. It's a fun watch. I'm not gonna lie, my cousin was like, "You got to watch this show," and he kept giving me the bad mouth for not checking it out. And I really liked season 1, and so I'm just finished up season 2 into season 3, and that's what I've been watching. Really, predominantly that and some wrestling shoot interviews. But that's about it for me, man. How about you?
Oh my God, man. So I have been watching so much. Jamie and I have had a few weeks off because of A Weekend in the Life. Now she's got sports season starting, so her schedule has been crazy. And so Doc season 2 is back. Very good show. Highly recommend everybody check it out. I don't know why every doctor show has to have like a hostage situation in their show at least once, but Doc did it, and it's season premiere, and I was in on it. I texted Jamie immediately, like, dude, you need to watch this because we need to talk about this. Yes, I call her dude because she's a dude. And we talked about it, and it was, oh my God, we haven't talked about it yet. She hasn't watched it yet, but hopefully she watches it soon. The Floor is back, the game show. It's one of my favorite game shows hosted by Rob Lowe. Have you watched that one, John?
I have not.
Dude, you should. It's good. That last season they had Brian O'Halloran was one of the contestants.
2 years ago, they had an independent pro wrestler on there. Selena De La Renta was on as one of the special guests. I mean, I don't think they mentioned her background or who she was. She was just a person on there because she's kind of in the indie circuit. She's not in the WWE. So you'd really have to be a wrestling nerd like me to pick her out and be like, oh, yeah, that's Selena De La Renta.
You know, I'm going to do something that John Orlando really likes to do, and I'm going to do it because it kind of promotes John as well. And I just want everybody to know that you guys can go literally to 3geekspodcast.com, and right here at the top of our page has Mattalk and Big Binge and 3 Geeks. And if you scroll down, it's got all of our affiliates, PVD Cast, McGTV, the conventions we do. Like, go check out our website. But I'm trying to think what else I've been watching. Like, there's, oh my God, John, there's so much. I caught up on Family Law, which you're not watching. Oh! You should watch because spoiler alert, I don't care, John. So in the last like 2 minutes of the season 4 finale, Nathan Fillion shows up, and he is her half brother.
So
He's another kid of her dad's, another woman that he, probably cheated on somebody with in the day. But I love that the Firefly cast goes to bat for each other, because that's not a small role. So I'm thinking we're gonna see Nathan Fillion in season 5 quite a bit if he's showing up in that capacity.
I was gonna say, I didn't mean to try to talk over you, but yeah, it's a reunion for Firefly and Serenity.
Yeah, dude. And then one more thing that I've been watching, I watched Superman for the 4th time. Love that movie.
You know what? I think we could talk about it. I really liked it. I thought it was solid. I liked that there was not a lot of exposition. Like here it is. Here's what's happening, and we're gonna keep it short and tight. Crypto was awful. It was awesome. Excuse me, not awful. He was
I
awesome.
was gonna say, I'm about to do this show by myself, which I don't have all the guys, so it would have been chaos. But
no, he was awesome. I really dig. Astro. I was worried about how that was going to play out, but they did a fantastic job.
Are you caught up on Peacemaker?
I know I have not. I have not even started the second season yet.
Okay, mild spoilers. I'm apologizing in advance, but one of the things that I like so James Gunn pretty much has done. I mean, they are now making, it seems like, the Suicide Squad. That movie is officially canon, and they made some references to the Will Smith Suicide Squad movie a little bit in this season. But the thing that I like is we're getting the cast of Superman has been popping in and out of season 2. We had Lex Luthor in an episode, and we had Nathan Fillion has been in it. And I love that it's all done by the same guy. The same visionary is doing it, which is probably why it's so easy for him to, bring cast members back and forth. But dude, Peacemaker has been really good. You need to bump that ahead of everything. I think Justin would agree. And then Alien Earth is also a good one. Go check out. I won't get into that. You guys have listened to me rant about TV enough. You guys want to hear about Matlock.
That's right. And this is another one of those. It's on the DVD as one episode, but I'm sure when they showed it in rotation, in syndication, it was 2 episodes, because it was like a 90-minute episode. And are you ready to talk about it, Jason?
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, then let's
go.
All right, then let's get into our opening statement. The title of the episode is called The Legacy, and the original air date for it is November 9th, 1992. We have a couple of guest stars that we need to mention. First off is Wilbur Fitzgerald. He'll be playing the role of sleazeball Arthur Kendall. You may also know him as Bruce Bennett in Prison Break. He was in Dan Daly in the new Naked Gun, the one that just came out a few months ago. You also may know him as Judge Dorsey on NCIS New Orleans. Jerry Cullen in The Founder, which is a criminally underrated movie. That movie's really good. And you may also know him as drunk customer number 2 in Sully, and over 100 more credits. The guy's got, an amazing resume.
Yeah, man. Hold on, I'm trying to find a photo that was sent to me. I want to show you, but here we go. It's loading. I got it. I'm almost there. I swear. So, one of the people I do the conventions with, she's in the new Naked Gun movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Her name is Jean. Bad photo. Hold on. Let's see if I can. Right. See, yeah, it's bad photo.
Yeah, it's bad photo. Yeah, well. So she had a bit part?
Yeah, background actress, but it's still so cool. She was in the. Did you see it yet?
I have not watched it yet. No.
I see the code, John. It's free.
I know. I'm trying. I'm struggling. To keep loaded into StreamYards. That's what Justin says.
That's a lot of work, Justin. I have to email it, and then I got to download it, then I got to upload it. It's a lot.
All right, well, let's talk about our next guest star. His name is John Dennis Johnston. He will be playing the role of Brian Martell. You may know him as Pete in Streets of Fire, Frank Stillwell in Wyatt Earp, Torchy's patron in 48 Hours, Dr. Bronstein on In Plain Sight, Nick Moats on St. Elsewhere, and he's actually been in another episode of Matlock. He was in Season 6, Episode 1, The Witness Killings. He played Lucas Anderson. If you remember, this is the the kid that wrote a tell-all book that goes back to his hometown, and he ends up dead, and Matlock has to figure out who did it. Which there seems to be like that's the second time they've used that vehicle in Matlock about, oh, somebody wrote a tell-all book and now everybody's mad. But he also, John Dennis Johnson has also done.
I'm about to write a tell-all book.
What? Did you say you're going to write a tell-all book?
I'm about to write a tell-all book.
Okay.
Yeah, behind the scenes of Mattalk, all the dirt and grime, everything you can get into. I do, John. I'm sorry. One of the things that I really wanted to talk about tonight, because it kind of annoyed me, and since I don't think Jamie and I are doing our show tonight, sorry guys, just go with me for a second. So SVU came back this week, and they killed the old captain off screen. Like the show started with his funeral, which it doesn't make any sense to me why you'd kill the character when the actor is still alive. It was no plot in the show at all, other than they were at his funeral in the beginning of the episode. It's very annoying, especially since he had been on Law and Order since the beginning, like even the original show, and then just to kill him off camera. I guess the actor was on set for it, but like, why?
Well, that's the second time they've done that, because they did that with Criminal Intent when Eric Bogosian was the captain, and they killed him off. But I think it was on screen that they did have his death on screen. But so yeah, I mean, Dick Wolf is not afraid to pull the trigger.
But it's just weird. It's just weird to kill a character on a show that hasn't been on the show in like 10 years, just to randomly have his character die when the actor is still alive and could pop back. I don't know. It annoyed me. Anyway, sorry, John. I didn't mean. Sorry, everybody. I'm done with what I've been watching.
All right. Well, let's talk about another guest star, Mary Margaret Humes. She plays the role of Candace. She had a very long run as Gail Leary on Dawson's Creek. She had a lot of seasons of that show. She also played the role of Miriam in The History of the World Part 1. She was in a ton of Hallmark movies. And here we go. I just picked a bunch of them here. Let's see if you've seen them. Are you ready, Jason?
John, I was born ready for this game.
Okay. A Valentine's Match. Have you seen it?
I think I have, actually.
A Cowboy Christmas Romance.
I have seen that one.
Christmas in Love.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Christmas Crime Story.
I have not seen that one. I'd remember that one.
Matchmaker Santa.
I have seen Matchmaker Santa. I think our buddy Jonathan Stoddard was in Matchmaker Santa, if I remember correctly. He's coming back on our show soon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, also Mary played Bridget Laird in a previous episode of Matlock, season 5, episode 4, The Personal Trainer, where this is the one where Ben had a roofer who was accused of killing a personal trainer because the personal trainer was having an affair with his wife. And so there you go. And then our last one that we have to talk about, our last guest star, is Beth Toussaint. She will be playing the role of Yolanda Bergstrom. You may know her as Lydia Keefe in Red Eye, female caller in Scream 3, Veronica on Savannah, Tracy Lawton on Dallas. And she also was on a previous episode, season 5, episode 1, The Mother, where she played Andrea Todd, and she was the legal secretary accused of murdering her boss, whom she's having an affair with. And if you remember, the mother was like, I did it, etc., etc. So any of those individuals that you want to comment on, Jason, before we move along?
Beth is a woman of my heart. I absolutely love her. Beth, if you're watching this, give me a call. Or email me, benmattalk@gmail.com.
And Beth Toussaint, don't worry. I won't read the email because that's not my job. That's his job. So I think I'm pointing in the right direction. Anyways. All right. Let's get on into it, ladies and gentlemen. Jason, it's time for me to ask you that question. You know the question. Are you ready to give an opinion? Your opinion, solely your opinion, so help you.
Come on, John. You know I want to testify.
It's time to testify.
It's nice to have Justin back.
It is. Things run so much smoother.
It's something like comforting about his picture at the bottom of the screen, and then you can just do this randomly and then put him back away.
Anyways, let's talk about the plot. Ben finds out that a man accused of murder has a link to Ben's father, Charlie. So, all right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We open up with a scene of a MARTA train. That is, by the way, the rail system in Atlanta, if you're unfamiliar with, as it's just speeding through the ATL. Then we cut to a prison yard. And then we cut to a scene of inside the prison where there's a parole meeting where Mr. Martell is up for parole. He supposedly is in jail for murdering Jake Kendall. And Brian Martell, his son, wants his dad released due to a terminal disease. So this is one thing that I did kind of, and I don't know because I've never been, experienced anything in terms of the legal system, but would it be the safest thing to have the son of a guy that's up for parole, like standing behind, like sitting behind everybody else? Like, I was just going through my mind, like, in theory, couldn't he grab one of those attorneys or one of the guards and like do something like stab him or something? I mean, I know that's a stretch, but I mean, like, he was sitting way back there, like unattended. And I'm like, this doesn't seem very safe.
I don't know what parole board things are like, so I can't really comment on that. It does seem a little weird that he'd be so close, kind of look like an AA meeting.
Yeah.
I don't really know what they were thinking.
An AA meeting is the best. That's the absolute best way to describe it. That's exactly what it looks like an intervention. Oh man. So we cut into a scene outdoors, and again, I thought this was weird. If this is a like college class, why are you meeting outdoors? Especially when you're not young, hip, 20-year-old kids playing like songs on the guitar or hacky sack or whatnot. They all seem to be in their 30s or 40s. But Arthur Kendall is teaching a screenwriting class. And while he's in the middle of his presentation, Brian Martell shows up and he spouts off his story. Oh, I got a movie for you. How about a guy that was wrongfully accused of murder and has spent the last 30 years in jail? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, there's about 300 of those made a month nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I forget what the elements were that Arthur said. Yeah, you throw in a little sex, a little violence. That's what the movie makers want. That's what the movie goers want to see. So they get into an argument. They being, of course, Kendall and Martell, and Martell punches him in the face, and then he spouts off some other stuff, and off we go. So then we go to probably, Jason, the most awkward breakfast you could ever have in your life, when it's you, your husband, your adult son, all sitting around the breakfast nook, if you will, and George and Candace start arguing. They say some really rotten things to one another. Josh, the kid's like, I'm leaving, and Candace is like, this is just not working out for us. We're trying to stay together for Josh. Now here's my question. You're staying together for Josh. Josh looks like he's in his early 20s. Why is he still living at the house?
Why not? Why, dude, whoa. Why are you shaming people that live with their parents at 20?
Because because of the statement made, we're staying together because of him. Well, that doesn't make any damn sense. Like, why? He's 21, 22, 23 years old. He's obviously aware that you two are not getting along. Why? Like, that made no sense to me whatsoever. Like, oh, we should just get a divorce because we're staying together because of him. He's a man.
Are you
He's
sure
grown-ass man?
You're not just a 40-year-old playing 15?
Well, I don't know. He might be Jason Priestley, like, where he's the coolest 40-year-old high school student. I don't know. Well, Candace says that she's going to move in with Arthur, and she's filing for divorce. And then we cut to a scene where Candace is rolling up in that wood-paneled Ford station wagon. That brings back memories, folks. Brings back memories. But anyways, she goes to Arthur's home. She has a key. She unlocks the door, walks in on Arthur in the living room, canoodling with Bergstrom, Yolanda. And then Arthur said, because she says, I left my husband because I thought we were going to be together. And he said, hey. I never promised you a marriage, and I never promised that I was going to be faithful. So
Yeah, he said we could be together, and I'm going to give you a great. She said, you know, you promised me you'd give me a great life, and blah 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 blah. He's like, yeah, but I didn't say I'd be faithful.
yeah, I mean, so sucks to be you, Candace.
Yeah, man, you got to be sure if you're going to make that kind of a commitment.
Yes, I know. You need to get that in writing or something. Yeah, because I mean, just think about it. She's sleeping around, or he's sleeping around with somebody that's already married. That should give you an idea that he's not the most reputable dude in the world, right?
Yeah.
So we cut to a scene where Ben is putting together a clock. I don't know why, but he is. Leanne tries to set Ben up with a date, a friend of hers, Eileen, I believe. And she says the most disgusting 2 words that I've heard in a while when she goes, Dad, she has a nice build. No daughter should say that to their dad. No.
No, that's gross. That's something that our dear, never mind, would say.
I'm just saying, like, years from now, maybe 10 or 15 years from now, you don't want your daughter to come and go, I have a friend. I know someone. You don't want that.
No, that's gross.
That is gross. There you go. So we cut to a scene where Arthur's taking the trash out, and he hears something. He looks over, and his garage door's open, and his car's running. Well, that's weird, because why is it running? So he goes over to investigate. So he goes into the garage, and both the doors are locked on the car, and all of a sudden the garage door shuts, and he can't get out. And now it's filling up with carbon monoxide poisoning, and that is what kills Mr. Arthur Kendall, which I don't think we've had a death by CO before, have we? I don't think we have.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So Leanne has a conversation with Brian about Brian Martell's case. All right. And she talks to her dad about it because there is this kind of thing about there's a connection between Charlie Matlock and whoa, I'm getting some feedback. Can you throw in some headphones?
Just turn it down.
Okay. All right. So anyways, sorry about that, folks. But anyways, so the Martell case is going to be kind of a second storyline that's running here. And so they talk about it, and I say they, I mean Brian Martell, Leanne, and of course Ben. And Mr. Martell was basically sent for prison for killing Arthur's father, Arthur Kendall. I forgot his name. Jake Kendall is the father's name. So Ben wants to help out Brian, all right, because he's like, look, Charlie Matlock was not the killer. My dad did not kill you. Then Leanne and Ben have lunch, and Ben tells the story and basically refutes Charlie's involvement in the murder. And we cut to some black and white footage. Charlie stops to help Mr. Kendall. He fixes Jake Kendall's car. Jake tries to pay him $100. He's like, nah, just when you're in town next time, stop by. We'll have a drink and we'll talk. And so Kendall and Charlie, they kind of become pals. And so how the murder happens is that Charlie was fixing Kendall's car one time, and he decided he'd drive to the ATL. And he's going to drop the car off to Jake. And he goes in and finds Jake dead on the floor. And Charlie's wrench is found in the dumpster, which apparently the wrench was thrown from a window and went into the dumpster. And so it's Charlie's wrench. So it looks like Charlie did it.
I like that they don't even like try to change Andy Griffith's appearance when he plays his dad. Like he is like they could be twin brothers.
They put spectacles on him. They put little glasses on him, but that still doesn't matter. So Leanne's pal arrives. Eileen. This is some wild hair color for Eileen. I mean, like that's the most unnatural redhead color I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know, man. I'm in love with Leanne's friends. Wait, no, never mind. Different episode. Sorry. I was thinking of the vacation again. Like,
okay,
it's been so long since we've done this. My wires are crossed.
That's all right. It's all good. So we get a nice little dose of awkward Ben. And then we cut back to the police headquarters where Brian's bail is paid by Ben because Brian was arrested for the murder of Arthur. Ben wants to clear his dad's name, and he's helping Brian because that's how his father would want him to do. And so we get the arrival of Conrad McMasters, or what was the name that they, Mr. McMillan or whatever later in the episode. Yolanda gives him a different name that's not even close. But Conrad goes to Arthur's place, and he's going to look for some evidence. Leanne interviews Candace about Art, calls out her relationship between Candace and Art. And in the meantime, Conrad is checking out Art's home, and Josh happens to be there, and he barrels his way past Conrad, trying to run from the house. All right, any comments you want to throw out there just yet of what we've seen?
No, not really. I'm in so far with the episode.
Okay, all right. Ben is walking with weights, and he tells his daughter that Elaine and him are playing phone tag. And there's more gross talk about there might be snow on the roof, but there's a fire down below. Gross! In capital letters.
Dude, they just have a very honest relationship.
I wish they would have a less honest relationship. That's all I'm going to say. Conrad arrives with Josh, which two things I noticed. One, Conrad gets out of the car and he addresses Ben and Leanne, and then he goes and opens the door to let Josh out. Why couldn't Josh just get out of the car? Like, why did he have to have his door open for him? I'm like, that didn't make any sense. And they parked that car. That Mustang got parked on the front lawn. You know as well as I do that Matlock does not like cars parked on his lawn, I bet. Yeah. Josh was saying he was just trying to protect his mom by looking for evidence. And so Josh says that his mom was having an affair with Arthur, and that leads Leanne to go, gosh darn it. She grabs her stuff and she goes.
Oh, John, we have a comment from Liz.
Oh, okay. Let's get it up here, man. Bargain bin Julie doesn't hold a candle to the real deal. That's right. Absolutely. You are correct, Liz, on that one. Glad you're watching as well. Thank you for doing so.
You know what, Liz? I can't remember if you having a boy or a girl, but just hear me out for a second, okay? Jonathan Jason Murdoch. That's a good name. Jonathan for the first name, Jason for the middle name, and then your last name, obviously. So, Jonathan Jason. It's a great name. Strong name. Strong. I even let John go first. That's the kind of guy I am.
What are you doing? You're giving away naming rights to parents? What are you doing?
I'm just offering a suggestion, John. Then I could buy him one of these shirts.
I am Jonathan Jason Murdoch.
Yeah. Or if it's a girl, Jacina, that works too. I don't know what the equivalent for John is.
Joanna. That would be my guess.
Oh,
anyways.
Okay. Joanna. Yeah, Joanna Jacina. Oh my God, fantastic. All right, sorry, John.
Anyways.
Sorry, Liz.
Well, Leanne goes to confront Candace. All right. And she does so outside of her apartment. And what you don't know as Leanne leaves, that there's a double stakeout going on. That's right. Not one stakeout, but two, as Conrad is parked across the street keeping tabs on the old Candace. Her alibi, by the way, is that she's doing a documentary on street kids. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But anyways, and what they do for money and whatnot. And that's where she was that afternoon. Well, we cut back to Ben singing and cooking, and Leanne badgers her dad more about a date with Elaine, and Ben has given up hot dogs for Elaine. That tells you how serious this is.
It's a tragedy. I wish we had that like that funeral cadence music that we could play for the. We have another comment from Liz.
All right, here we go. Having a boy, we'll keep that in mind if we need a backup name.
Boom, okay. We made backup, John. We made backup. You're welcome.
Anyways, Kendall, Jake Kendall, we cut to a scene where Jake Kendall and Charlie are hanging out. And I like that they are drinking Star Cola. I want Star Cola. I want to try that. Kendall shows off his new suit. Charlie finds a clue. It's a sweater, and it's the wrong sweater because it's not Kendall's. All right, it's Martell's sweater, and this leads to the conviction and the release of Charlie. But again, that's really loose evidence, that sweater being real close to the body. So Ben interviews George. George has a huge stack of screenplays. For some odd reason, I don't know why, I thought that this was a great scene. I actually like George, even though I said earlier, like, he's arguing and saying really horrible things to his wife in front of his kid. He seems like just a chump. Like, oh, I got all these screenplays. Did you sell any of them? No, I didn't sell any of them. Have you figured out the end of the one you're doing? No, I haven't written it yet. He just seems like just such a schlub.
Mm-hmm.
So George does have a motive and an alibi, though. So then we cut to the rough part of town, which I think is the same clip that they use every time they have to go to the rough part of town. Candace is bribing a bunch of street kids for an alibi. All right, hey, if anybody asks, I was here last Thursday, etc., etc. But as she walks past the dumpster, guess who? I liked how he just kind of leaned out. And that was, of course, Conrad McMasters. But I thought that was just so ridiculous. Like,
just a quick wink to the audience that, hey, Conrad's here.
Yeah, exactly. Leanne chats with Brian, and she gets the details of that case from Brian's point of view. And Brian, by the way, was on a job as a construction worker. Brian explains that his dad walked home, all right, from work because the work got out early that day. And that Mr. Martell catches mom and Jake Kendall kissing. And so the cops felt that Martell killed him because he had motive, and then the sweater, et cetera, et cetera. So Conrad goes back to Art's home, and the mail provides a clue. All right. And that clue in the mail, is a letter that it was going to Yolanda for some flowers. So Conrad interviews Yolanda, and she invites Conrad in, which I thought that was a little bold. Again, I know I'm the one with the whole no one locks their doors in Atlanta, but you don't know who this dude is. You're going to welcome him in? He could be the killer.
Yeah, I mean, dude, listen, it's the safest town in America.
Whereas
nobody dies. They definitely don't die once a week in this community.
Well, anyways, Yolanda stated that she did date Art. In fact, they spent the night together before he died. So we go to the courtroom. Ben has Candace on the stand. Ben's theory is Candace is so mad that she killed Art. Her alibi is destroyed because Conrad brings a couple of the street kids in, and they're ready to testify. And then Josh reveals that he killed Art, not his mom, and he has this big outburst. All right. And he's like, my mom didn't do it. I did it, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this is where we would have the break in between the two episodes. So Jason, anything that you want to talk about real quick before we move along?
Yeah. I mean, I just had a weird epiphany. Like, if Matlock does, because there's 21 episodes a season, we'll say 3 of them are, let's say there's 18 cases that he does a year. He is a multi-millionaire. Like, he should be living in a much nicer house. With $100,000 a case times 18 per year. We're on season 7 right now. Like, Matlock's raking it in.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty good winning percentage. I just heard about I just heard about an attorney that's a supposed like a death row attorney that you get him. Out of 11 cases he's 4-7. I'm like, holy heck, man! You only have 4 wins and 7 losses.
If you're a death row inmate and you got 4 wins, like, that's good. I think that's a good record.
I don't know. All right, here we go.
Good, man. You're saving 4 people.
As I've determined listening to some true crime podcasts, yeah, never go for the death penalty. Just get life in prison because it takes forever because they got to exhaust all those appeals, and that's like 10 more years of and expenses that you have to pay. So I'm like, I told the wife, if anything happens to me, just make sure they get life in prison. They don't have to go for the death penalty. Oh, that's been a macabre topic. Let's get back to some more happier times, shall we?
Yeah, man. John's planning on going to death row. Everybody, you heard it here first. He was with me. He was with me that night.
Well, Josh recounts Art's murder, and he can't explain anything. Like the cops are like, "How'd you find the keys?" I stole them. When? Well, I just did, man. That afternoon. So we get Ben in a brand new suit that costs more than all of his gray suits combined. And here they talk about splitting your pants because the pants are a little snug. I'm like, oh, that's some foreshadowing. That's definitely going to happen. Leanne and Brian and Ben are all at police headquarters. They continue the case due to Josh's lack of an alibi. So they try to get the case thrown out, but nope. The prosecutor says, nope, we're going to do it. George and Candace argue, and Josh shows up at home because Ben gave him a lift home. And he's like, look, do you have any alibi? And Candace was like, no, I just drove around after catching Art with Yolanda. So Leanne and Brian have dinner and argue about the old murder case. Basically, Brian's mom left him with an uncle and aunt because they didn't have a very good relationship. And Brian reveals, so coincidentally, that mom is in a rest home a couple towns over.
Mm-hmm. Poor mom. Reminded me of Shady Acres from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Oh, yeah, it does. It does have that vibe to it. Yeah, okay. Conrad came to see Yolanda, but she acts really shady. Where were the keys? Did you steal the keys prior to this? Because that's the whole focus right here. And he notices that there's donuts on the counter, and one of them has a bite out of it, and there's a cup of coffee. And he's like, you're very, very conscious of what you eat. So whose is it? And there's no lipstick on the glass, but yet you're wearing some. So Yolanda's hiding her little sister. All right. Sabrina. All right.
Not the teenage witch.
No, not a teenage witch. No. That would have been awesome crossover, though. I would have watched that. Anyways, especially with the snarky cat, Nick Bakay as the snarky cat. What was the cat's name? Salem?
Dude, I've honestly never seen an episode of the original. I've seen like the newer Netflix one, but not the original.
Oh, okay. Justice says yes, Salem is the name of the cat. Okay. We go to a rest home where Leanne talks with Mrs. Martell, and then we cut back to another scene where Ben and Elaine are having the picnic. There's the kiss on the cheek. Ben sits down, he splits his pants, and then we cut to a scene where he's making bacon and eggs. And Leanne's like, what are you doing? And he explains that he split his pants and unfortunately flips grease on his daughter's blouse. So she goes to change. In the meantime, Conrad comes through the back door and he gives the lowdown on Yolanda's sister. And the Arthur Kendall screenplay for Death Rattle is pretty much revealed to be the same thing as George, who wrote a script as well. It's pretty much identical. But in the meantime, Leanne has an epiphany because she put on some of Ben's clothes and then realized, wait a minute, something's not right with the clothes in the old case. So she leaves. Candace was leaking information that was discovered about the play to Arthur. And so then Leanne is back at the rest home and she asks about the sweater. And so we find out finally, after all this hullabaloo, that Mrs. Martell is the one. It was her sweater that was found next to the dead body of Jake, and that she's the one that killed him, and that Mr. Martell took the blame for it.
Mm-hmm.
I like this next scene a lot. Conrad and Ben are playing some baseball, some catch, if you will. And I like how Conrad throws a hard one. And he's, ow, what are you doing? Which, I got to be honest with you, I'm not a very good baseball player. And that brought back memories. I'm like, yeah, I had that happen a couple times where I'm like, dang it, that was a hard throw. So,
I was more of a football passer in my day. I was quarterback.
Look, I stuck to hockey. What can I say? I was good at that, so I stuck with that sport. Josh shows up and he wants the screenplay back because he was sent to go round them up. So he does that, or he's doing that. In the process, Ben's like, "Hey, hold on. Why don't you two play catch? I'm gonna go do some things real quick. I'm gonna go call Yolanda," which he does. And she's like, "I don't have the screenplay. I threw it away." So Brian talks to his mom, and Dad set up Jake Kendall. The other woman with Kendall, Mrs. Martell, stole Charlie's wrench, used it to kill Kendall, and unfortunately, Mrs. Martell left the sweater behind, and that kind of wraps up that storyline, which here in a few minutes, I'll reveal my thoughts on that. Conrad finds Sabrina, and she has the screenplay, and he wants to get it off of her, and I thought this was kind of a little bit out of left field, but she's like, "If you touch me, I'm going to scream rape so loud that they'll hear it 4 counties over." I'm like, yikes. That's a threat.
Yeah, this escalated quickly.
Yeah, it did. It escalated very quickly. Leanne recaps the Martell story to her father. Elaine shows up, and she dumps Ben because she's going to go marry the senator. 2-time. And this is where's Kanye with his Gold Digger theme song? Like, come on, man. Or EPMD if you're old school. EPMD
She wanted
had
a guy
that
that was
song.
into hot dogs and having fun and stuff.
Yeah. Well, Conrad shows up to recap Sabrina's information. And so we go to the courtroom. Ben has Yolanda on the stand. Yolanda purportedly went to a certain bar to, quote, meet Art. In other words, she was going to pick him up because Sabrina was not meddling, or was not modeling, excuse me, or meddling. She was not meddling in things. She was modeling due to drugs, which Sabrina was also engaged in some sexy time with Art. And because of that, she had a relapse. So basically, Yolanda wants revenge, and Brian Martell was used as a patsy, and Yolanda refuses to answer any other questions and takes the contempt charge. So we cut to a scene where Ben and Conrad are going through the financials of Yolanda. Sabrina does have an alibi. Conrad found out that she was drunk and in the drunk tank that day, that afternoon. So Ben, Conrad, they're at Art's home, and they're going over the murder again. They're retracing steps. And speaking of steps, Ben steps in a puddle of oil. Aha, there's the clue that we need. So we go back to the courtroom, and Josh is on the stand. And Josh works in the hospital, as we know. And he works in all the departments. So he knows, he's met Sabrina, who had some issues, who was in that hospital due to her, I shouldn't just assume it was nose candy. It's 92. I'm thinking probably, right?
Probably.
Yeah, if not, it's heroin, one of the two. Anyways, boy, we're really full of joy and happiness on this episode, aren't we? Jeez.
It is, man. It is.
So Josh becomes pals with Yolanda and Sabrina, so they become somewhat of a co-conspirator. Again, because Yolanda wants revenge for what Arthur had done to Sabrina. So basically, they worked on a plan, they being Josh and Yolanda. Yolanda stole the keys to give to Josh, and the puddle of oil was the key evidence, as oil was found on Josh's floor mats in his car. So basically, we cut to a scene of everybody leaving the courtroom. Martell, Conrad, Leanne, Ben, they're all leaving. And everything's cool with the Martell folks. And then Sabrina shows up and says, "Conrad McMasters, my sister wanted me to give you something." Slap to the face, yo.
That was unnecessary. Justice for Conrad.
Yeah.
Email us, benmattalk@gmail.com.
Or drop us a line on Facebook at Mattalk Podcast. Yeah, that was uncalled for. I don't know why, he didn't just go, okay, that's an assault charge. I mean, you're right there. There's got to be some cops right there. You go, did you see that? Did you see that? I want her arrested.
Yeah. Go Karen, Conrad. Go Karen.
That's right. Then he, by the way, Sabrina also gives the copy of the screenplay to Ben as well. And then everybody has some hot dogs except for poor old Conrad, who's nursing a sore tooth, if you will. So that concludes the legacy. Jason, do you have anything you want to throw in there, or should we just slide on into our closing statements?
I don't think I have anything else.
All right, then let's get to it. Let's get into our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John and I will rate the show on a gavel system. 1 gavel means 5 gavels means that we absolutely loved it, and negative 37 gavels means I'm going to put John in a home for the rest of his life where he can live happily by a tree that he calls Bert. John, what did you think of this episode?
First of all, I don't think we can use 37. I believe that's copyrighted by Kevin Smith. So I'm not sure on that. We might get a cease and desist. Not sure.
Speaking of Kevin Smith, wait until I got something to show you in a second.
Oh, okay. Okay, before I reveal my thing, here's one thing I want to know. So Jake Kendall looks to be like a scumbag, and Charlie Matlock is supposed to be this upright standing guy. Why would they be friends then? Like, wouldn't you think that he would hear the town gossip that Jake is philandering around town? And it just seems to me like that was like a conflict of interest between those two, that Charlie Matlock would not tolerate the Jake's scumbagginess, if you will.
I mean, we all had that friend back in the day that was kind of just somebody that we kind of hung around with because we've known him forever, even though he's not really a great person.
Okay, I don't know.
You're not going to defend him in court.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to think back and see if I have one of those. But I give it a 2.5 gavels. I did not like the double storyline. I felt like it could have been good if they just would have had those two as separate entities. If they had the legacy being the one with the Martell storyline, that would have been great. And then this other storyline, with the philandering screenwriter, I think the two of them together just it got muddled at times. It seemed like the end was anticlimactic, and I didn't
very anticlimactic. I agree.
Yeah, and Elaine, that storyline was gross. I did like that it's a revenge tale because I do like revenge stories. But yeah, I just 2.5 for me. I just didn't dig it.
I'm going to give it a 3.5, and I think I agree with most of what you said, but I give it a 3.5 because a lot of these double parters feel like they just go on and on and on, and this was not one that felt like that. Like, it felt pretty quick. So it definitely gets points for that. So yeah, 3.5.
All right. Well, Jason?
John, tell everybody about the PVD cast where I grabbed something.
Oh, okay. All right. Sweet. The PVD cast is my own personal podcasting project. It is available at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts. Right now, I'm doing a 6-part series with some great, awesome comic book creators in Columbus, Ohio. They're called the C3 Collective. It stands for the Columbus Cartoon Coalition. They're short little 30-minute interviews. They're back-to-back. Right now, I have Fennec and Sarah Cook, who did a comic entry for this anthology that C3 is doing, where they talk about how to make a comic. So again, and by the way, I just throw it out there. If you're interested in the C3 anthology, pick one up, go over to the social media pages for the Columbus Cartoon Coalition. All of the information's there on how you can donate some money and get a pretty sweet anthology, including the tale from Fennec and Sarah Cook, who are my guests this week on the PVD cast.
So if you follow me on Facebook, John, you saw that I got these.
Yes. Yes, it did.
What else I got is the rest.
Oh, nice.
The whole Jane Silent Bob VHS collection. I am stoked.
Nice.
I paid a little bit more for these two than I did. These were only $1 each. And then I got these two.
Oh, man.
So
nice.
Very nice. It's one of the reasons I collected VHS, because I saw those sitting on your shelf. Not the shelf of doom, but on one of your shelves. And I'm like, those will look good in my house.
There you go. I'm glad I can be an inspiration.
Finally got them.
We got a comment from Liz real quick. 4 stars. I actually did like the parallel storyline and thought that the writing was pretty solid. I like Andy as Charlie Matlock. but points off for Ben trying way too hard and forgetting he just got out of a serious relationship.
Well, maybe we're
Maybe
not 100% sure that they were even dating. Like,
yeah, we're not sure on that one, Liz. But all right, 4 stars. Okay, all right. Jason, talk about the Three Geeks podcast, man, and all your other projects as well.
Three Geeks podcast. I swear we're going to be back live next week. We've been so inconsistent the last 2 months, but that's just because there's been a lot of moving parts. We did a convention. Max went to a convention with John, and then just so many other things. But we will be back live Saturday at 7 p.m. I promise Jamie and I's show is coming back very, very soon. And guys, just go to 3geekspodcast.com. You can find everything there, even all of John's projects. And then you can find out our convention schedule for where Justin and I are going to be coming up.
Oh, and by the way, we're getting close to episode 500 of the PVD cast. I'm working hard on that. I'm piecing things together. So keep that in mind. It's about end of October it'll be happening. So I'm excited for that. I'm real excited for it.
Yeah, John's going to drop 5 digits for a guest.
No, because as we all know, I do not pay for guests. We've had this conversation with you and with a certain somebody that shall not be named.
Now he's got 5 fingers that he's going to give. Dude, so I haven't told you this, John, but at the conventions I've been doing, everybody gives me bracelets now. Like at every show I've done so far, they've just given me bracelets. It's fantastic. I love it. Keep doing it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get on out of here, shall we?
We shall, man. And as they say in court,
nothing further.